Hi, and welcome to Clinterviews. I'm Clinton Sylvie, Marketing Director for Belgrade State Bank, and I am here with.
I'm Shawn Braswell. I am an SBA Loan Specialist here at Belgrade State Bank.
Now, some of you might recognize us from such hits as our Wise Grounds Coffee fall video,
Pumpkin spice.
or our work in trying to get the Clydesdales ready. But in actuality, usually our 9-to-5 jobs are a little more serious than that. Well, at least Shawn's is. Being a SBA, when we say SBA, we mean Small Business Administration Loan Specialist. And today we are here to talk about Small Business Administration loans and who they're right for, why you would want to get one, and just a few of the basics. And it'll let you know if Shawn is the person you need to talk to. So Shawn, tell me, what is the purpose of an SBA loan? Why would someone need to apply for one of those?
I think probably one of the most important things that our viewers should know is to get an SBA loan, you first have to basically be declined or not able to get a traditional loan in-house with the bank. So a lot of times people may think that you get an SBA loan just because it's a better rate or a better deal, which sometimes it can be, but truthfully, we have to show to SBA that we could not do that loan in-house with our loan policy, and then we can kind of move forward from there. But there are definitely other benefits to an SBA loan we can talk about.
Okay, so what would be just a few of the factors that would make it where you wouldn't qualify for a regular business loan with a bank that would kind of send you toward a SBA route?
So it really involves risk level. For instance, somebody wants to start a brand new business. Well, we're going to be operating off of projected income, which basically means they are estimating what their potential income is going to be, and they really don't know. I mean, it's an educated guess. So that's a high-risk level deal for a bank because it's not a proved business where we can look at historic financials. So that's one example. Another example is maybe a business deal where maybe the collateral is just not where it needs to be. We have certain collateral guidelines, and with SBA, they're not collateral driven as much as they are cash flow driven. So if they can prove a cash flow, but maybe the collateral isn't where it needs to be, we can still do a deal.
Okay. So SBA is a little more cash flow driven than collateral driven.
Exactly.
What are some of the advantages, and then after that we'll say disadvantages of going with SBA loan?
So advantages is one, you're getting the opportunity to get a yes on a deal to get finance for something that you need to do for your business when typically you would be getting a no.
You get the loan.
You get the loan, basically.
there's the advantage.
That's the advantage. The other advantage is typically an equity injection or cash injection would be higher for a bank to try to mitigate the risk level. So, in a typical SBA deal, you need a 10% cash equity injection, but there are also some ways where sometimes you can use equity in some other personal things, and it's more of a case by case, but you're looking more like 10% versus in-house, we'd be looking at probably a minimum of 20% cash equity, which, big difference. Maybe one disadvantage is it takes longer, definitely takes longer to get one of these deals done. Now, the $1 million question is how long? Well, it really just depends. Every deal is different, depends on different hiccups you run into, depends on how quickly we get the information from the customers in a timely manner. But, you're talking at least 60 days typically. Sometimes can go into more than that, depending on if we run into different obstacles. The closing costs for deals like this are higher because you do pay a guarantee fee with SBA, which is part of their program that funds them. And then we also have different things sometimes we have to do depending on what the deal's involved, like commercial appraisals that might cost a little bit more and some other type. It's a bigger process, so it costs more.
So we've actually had some questions about SBA loans, and we'll try to get into some more of those here. One of them is, can an SBA loan be used to refinance existing debt?
Short answer is yes. There are some stipulations to doing that. One of them is basically SBA will only refinance existing debt if it's going to improve the cash flow position. They're not just going to take the risk level off of an institution, refinance the debt, it'd be about the same payment range or the same rate. You have to be able to prove that you're getting either a substantially better rate or a much lower payment because of SBA's ability to stretch out a loan. Like equipment loans, you can go up to 10 years with SBA, which wouldn't typically be that long in-house. So if we can reduce the payment and show that it's going to improve the cash flow, we can justify refinancing the debt. But if we can't justify that, then SBA is going to say, we're not going to just cover your risk level because you made a deal. Now you want to get a guarantee.
Will the loan rate change, or is there a cap on interest rates?
So yes, this is adjustable rate. Most commercial debt or credit that you get across the board is typically adjustable. This is tied to prime. We're usually somewhere around prime plus 2.5, prime plus 2.75, and those are adjustable quarterly, and they're usually reviewed annually. So your payment would adjust annually, but the rate can adjust quarterly. But just know whether you're getting an SBA loan or another type of commercial loan, almost all of them are going to be on an adjustable rate.
How long of a term can you get on your loan?
So like on if you're doing like equipment, non-real estate type things, you can go up to 10 years. If you're involving real estate into a deal, you can go up to 25 years. If you're mixing real estate and equipment and other things, they do what's called a blended rate. So they'll kind of average the two. Standards kind of around 18 to 20 years.
So what happens if someone has an SBA loan associated with their business and then they sell their business?
So SBA loans are assumable. So, they would have to go through the process of SBA approving along with the bank, getting everything transferred over properly. But they are assumable. Most of the time on a deal like that, typically a borrower would come in and just pay that SBA loan off through their own type of financing, or they could even possibly get their own SBA loan. Because usually when they do that, they're not just going to take over the existing debt, but they usually need more funds to either do improvements, add different lines to things, and or get some type of operating capital with it.
So, Shawn, are there different types of SBA loans, or do they all kind of file into one category?
We do two main types of SBA loans here. There's multiple other ones, but the 7A and the 504 are the two that we do. The main difference quickly is the 7A we keep 100% in-house, meaning we do the full funding and SBA guarantees a percentage of the debt. The 504, the bank holds 50% on a priority lien. The CDC has a 40% separate loan that they have typically on like a fixed rate. That portion's actually fixed, and then the borrower has the 10% equity injection. So it's just structured a little differently, but for the most part, similar. There's differences of which ones are better depending on what they're doing, and we kind of take that on a case by case.
So that would just be something you'd have to come in and as you go through the process, sort it out. So if someone wants to get a hold of you and start this conversation about maybe doing an SBA loan, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, I work here at the Farmington branch, and so our number here locally is 573-760-9000. You can also email me at shawnb@belgradestatebank.com, and I will get either one of those and be happy to talk with you.
It's pretty simple. Now, you're a SHAWN, Shawn, not a SEAN.
Good point.
So it's SHAWN and then the letter B, ShawnB@belgradestatebank.com. All right, well, thank you for doing this. I hear that the doors and the coffee shop will be opening soon, and you and I might have to do something about that. So
Look forward to it.
I think there might be something in the works.
Stay tuned.